true, no matter what happens to you or how blue you may be feeling or how high you might be flying. Babies, you're always trying there in the heart. It's never over with, and it never will be, babies. It goes on continually. Even though this here Spring Creek radio show only lasts for a couple hours, don't you know? The musical tune Oz keeps on playing for the rest of the day inside of your heart and soul, wouldn't you say? Rising you up, bringing you around, helping you see what it is you've already found, what you already know. It's never over, it's always just begun. Here at Spring Creek, from the beginning, only and exclusively on what? Well, you're ever clear. Hazy Radio Network, dear. Because we're here day after day, Tuesday through Friday, these 2 sweet hours, man, to help you along the way. And somehow we stretch that 2 hours into a full day, a full moment. A moment of fullness, baby. It's a wholeness, fullness moment, baby. Yeah, where that first little trickle of understanding comes flowing up from your heart, and pretty soon you start to feel the best right there inside of your chest. And then you get to know all the rest, man. You see, that's how you know you're already a member of the Coyote Club, because you feel it. If you haven't been over to thecoyoteclub.com, you got to have that THE on the front of it, and K's on Coyote, and K on Club too, baby. But if you'll do that, if you'll go over there, I promise you'll be a little happier when you're through. Just look around all those different pages, man. There's a bunch of them there. We're actively looking for sponsors for this here radio show. People that can help us keep it funded, don't you know? But only at a real reasonable thing, and you get worldwide exposure here. We don't run ads, dear, but we do help everyone get it clear, and babies will help you promote it right here on the air. You see, everything done live and spontaneously, okay? Because that's the Coyote way. Just let it be in that flow, don't you know? Then you already know what's on the radio, no matter what song is playing, you see, because you're getting those rays of love, man, right here inside of the third density. This is the place you ought to be, wouldn't you say? I'd say, too. Baby, thanks for coming our way. Thanks for being our pal. Thanks for being one of us that knows we ain't going out in style. We're coming up in love, in sweet, understanding love, the kind that the Mother Earth is made of, the kind that the stars, moon, and everything else around us and everything below and above us is made of, okay? That sweet love that is creatively called Mary J. In a euphemistic sort of way, yes indeed, eh? But it does represent that mother energy, all flowers blossoming. From a single blossom, a single seed begins everything. See? And you are that single seed right there. It's all in what you perceive as you're living here, see? You turn it on, you hear that song, it opens you up, and the next thing you know, wow, your whole life's turned around. There's something new you've found, a way of understanding all the experience we've been through here, dear. Oh, darlings. And the ecoyoteclub.com will help you get it clear. I suppose I should make it .org too, because that's what it is. It's an loose association of unincorporated souls, man. We aren't regulated by the state in any way. In other words, man, we can call us, a spirit thing, okay? And you're already a member, baby. But if you want to help support us, I've got the neatest little membership card over there for just $10 donation, baby, and I'll send it to you anywhere. Well, you might add a couple of bucks, $3 or $5 if you're living overseas or something like that, so I can pay the postage, see? But whatever it is, man, just get on over there to thecoyoteclub.com. Get your membership card in the Coyote Club. And babies, your membership card, because you're already a member, always. Every human being is, every plant, tree, bird, buffalo, everything is, birds and bees and everything, even the trees. I'll put membership cards on them. Tree number such and such. No way, we ain't giving trees numbers. We give them names. You hugged a tree lately? Well, babies, it's not too insane to do so now, is it? You ever did that for real with your heart open, babies? Imagine what you feel when you're hugging that tree, especially an ancient one. All of that energy of all the time gone by comes flowing through you in a feeling of union, of bonding, not just with the tree, but with the earth that its roots are buried in, and with the sky around it that its branches and leaves reach out into, and the sun that absorbs it in. See, you get all of that. hugging a tree, babies. This is why we got to show respect for life everywhere that we be and not let us live unnaturally. We don't have to cut another tree. We don't have to dig up another element from the earth. Nothing like that, babies. As we come around, we experience something that's called rebirth, which is remembering your place in reality. Rebirth is R-E-BERTH. See, you're not being born again. You're finding where you already are. A love you can trust, a feeling that is just and lives in equity with everything that is. In other words, there is nothing. No energy, no life above another. All lives are lived at the same basic level. But in this old reality of third density, it seems to be hidden from us, don't you see? Remember that story about how we came here in a big old mothership, I reckon it was. But babies, there was a lot of us there, these angelic spirit beings, hanging out, partying down, having a great time. And this little old guy, come around with a little derby hat on the other side of our reality. I didn't even know there was anything out there, but there was something on the other side. And it was making noises and kind of talking to us. We could feel the communication. So we went over there and communicated with that dude, and he says, "Hey, babies, I got something for you. It's a whole new experience. You got to do, because this is like living in time, man, whatever that is. Time, man, time. And you get to feel far more deeply, far more real here." Well, what he wasn't telling us is what you feel is that you fell and you're going to hell. He couldn't even conceive of it before. It's kind of like that in this old medicine show we call life. Don't you know? I'll tell you what, that's why we got to be here on this Hazy Radio Network day after day and help you get it clear. And that's why you need to support us, dear, over there at thecoyoteclub.com, because we are indeed listeners supported. So I'll tell you what, if you get a membership card today or the next day or two, or make any kind of a donation, I'll send you not only a signed membership card, be sure to include your name and address so I can ship it to you, put a city and state and country on there so we know where you're from. But I'll not only send you that beautiful little membership card, I'll also send you one of our Coyote Club lighters. It says, "Let there be light." It's got the little coyote logo on it. Coyote howling at the moon, of course, but it might be the sun. That's what I tell everyone. And then it's got the www address, thecoyoteclub.com. So your friends will know when you give them a light, man, that, you are the light. You are the love of the Coyote Club and this Coyote Medicine show we call Spring Creek, don't you know? So it gives you an opportunity to help spread the wealth, man, and get it all over this world. So nobody's feeling neglected or denied or left out, because they're already members too, babies. And if they give you a $10 donation to send to me, well, they'll get one too. And babies, then you can, reasonably hug that person and not expect, any obligations or anybody putting moves on you, not busting a move on you at all. You see? Because we're all coyotes here in the 3D. And what does that mean? It means we're beginning to understand the joke, the basic joke in life, the heavy irony that really is a sweet satire. How the babies come in and just lose it again. Because when the babies come in, where they come from? That same place we did when we was talking to that dude through that kind of a veil, kind of a shimmery veil. We could barely see him out there yet. As we communicated with that dude with the derby hat, it got clearer and clearer, and we began to see a whole different reality. There was earth and sky. I think the sky was kind of a bright red then, or maybe it was more of a turquoise color, blue-green kind of, It was really beautiful, whatever it was, because, the sky has changed color a few times, mainly because of effects of humanity, but that's another story we'll get into another day. We're talking about the beginning here in this earth's reality, okay? How we came to set our foot down on the ground for the first time in forever. And realized as time went by, which it was dragging then, we realized what we'd done. A few of us were persuaded to come through that veil. We knew we could do that. Yeah, we did. And we come through that veil and took on a fleshly form as we did. and then put our feet on the ground for the first time here on Mother Earth. Down there, it looked like Red Rock country here in the U.S. of A., or Turtle Island, I should say. But it could have been anywhere. But it was Red Rock country, man. And there we were, putting our feet on the ground for the first time and realizing we couldn't just lift them up and fly away anymore. We were kind of stuck here. And we started to feel the heat of the sun, the cold dampness of the earth, but even it was warmed up by the time we got there in that daytime and put that first step down. And there was only day, there wasn't night yet. That came later. But as we, descended, let's put it that way, because that's the way we perceived it. We perceived ourselves as stepping down from a high place to a low place. And we began to blame ourselves. And this brought up some pretty ugly feelings in the humanity that was here. Those angels that had come, and we began to feel like fallen angels. To feel like that's what we become because we were so dumb as to listen to this guy who told us we could fly by other means. We didn't need those wings, and etc. and so on. Made it all sound so good. But when we moved into this neighborhood, oh my goodness, all we felt was shame. Well, it wasn't all we felt, but that was the biggest feeling. And that led to all kinds of problems and difficulties, because then, little by little, we went downhill, man. Started experiencing things like anger and hate and lust and emptiness, all those things that it's based on, is emptiness. But babies, we came around. We were found. And we began to remember, too, as time went on, that what we were here to do. So we've had some really high times in our so-called civilizations where we tried to build it back up like the place we come from. Because everyone has a living memory of the place we come from. That which we call home, which is really just the heart of the universe. All angels arise from the heart of the universe. All creation arises from the heart of the universe, and therefore humanity too. And babies, we're starting to realize we didn't fall. We didn't have anything to blame. It's just another experience in the game of growing up, of constant expansion, constant growth. That's what the universe is all about, growing, expanding, learning, loving what we learn and learning what we love and what we're made of, which is love. That's the stream of life. That's the flow of Spring Creek, that original moment right from the beginning, which is, of course, right now. As I tell this little tale, it's kind of repetitious, yet at the same time, you remember a little different aspect of it this time, right? See? And there's a little more coming up to you in the 3D. And you'll find, as you go through your day, lots of other inputs come your way, little epiphanies, where you wake up and realize, wow, this has been a wild old ride. And I'm just so happy to be here on it. And then it's a lot easier to deal with the elements of life, the difficulties and so on and so forth, the government and all the paperwork, whatever it is you're doing, difficult relationships, things like that. It's much easier when you realize that it's all made out of love. And this is what we're giving ourselves day in and day out. This is what we're living in. This love comes to us from above and below and all around us, don't you know? Exudes into our heart, exudes outward from there, right back out into the reality around us. As it passes through us, our eyes, our spirit eyes, see the truth of the reality and combine that with the elements of the 3D. It's called rooting down. That's why we came here, to root ourselves down in the deepest feelings possible. And that's what that tree suggests to you when you're hugging it. Imagine how deep those roots go. You can feel them, don't you know, when you're hugging on that tree. And guess what? You're putting roots down in the reality the same as that tree is, only you're not staying there. You can move anywhere. You can go anywhere. In fact, as you're rooting down, you're lightening up. Yeah, you're getting lighter and lighter, and one day your feet will just leave the ground. Meantime, well, we can be coming around in other ways. Go get you a hang glider and take a chance. Be careful with that one. You got to be good, because that is a not too forgiving sport. I know from way back when I used to participate in that fun. But nowadays, I've been thinking about flying in some way or another. And I see these paramotors, and I think they're cool, but oh my goodness, you got to run like a fool to get one of those off the ground. And I say, no, that ain't where old Grandpa's found. I mean, I'm still recovering from some pretty awful stuff, but ooh, miracle after miracle is happening. But as, that, I don't have near the strength I used to. I couldn't even hang that thing on my back, let alone take a run with it. But now, in order to have fun, I see what they've done. They've put a little card on the bottom of them, just like the trikes on the hang gliders, which fly all over. And you can go anywhere on those. It's just like an airplane if you set it up right. But I like the ultralight. I like the slow and low kind of flying. Well, I can get up way up high too, but slow and low, just over the countryside, don't you know, maybe 500, 600 feet up there, just gawking around, seeing what you've found. Maybe even, if the weather's mild enough, go up there and check out the mountains, man. Do a little ridge soaring while you're at it. Maybe even catch a thermal or two. You see, and do it electrically instead of with gasoline and noisy old motors that disturb the atmosphere. We just get up there with a little prop, and that's all you get is an electric noise. I mean, no electric noise, but the prop noise, and it just goes on, and it's just about as simple and as free as flying can be. If all you want to do is fly, you're not using it to go somewhere, you're using it because you're already there and you want to experience it in a different way, a more whole and complete sort of way. So after you tug a tree for a day, then you go out and play on your paramotor with this little card on the bottom of it, and it's a lot less expensive than buying already built aircraft and so on and so forth, and a lot less regulated too. You got to be careful what you do. You don't want to invade people's privacy and so on, or upset the atmosphere. That's why I think about electrical power, dear. Because see, we're getting one more step closer to our true reality, which is we are free. We're light enough to leave gravity behind us and all of its density. But first, we root down in it. We do what gravity's been trying to tell us all along. We let our feelings center themselves in the earth, in the soil, the rocks, the bedrock, the hot lava, whatever's there. We just root right down into it to the point where we feel this deep and bonding and binding connection with our mother love, which is the earth, of course, the Father inside of her. The grandson is inside of her the same as it's outside of her. There's all kinds of suggestions to that in this reality. Some of the people putting out all kinds of information. Some of it's even true in some way or another. You see, when you're looking in dimensions, there's divisions between the dimensions. And that inside earth is just another aspect in another dimension, given in another way. So it's not like you can dig a hole down there through the earth and get there, but you probably could, because it's a step into another way, just another step into a dimension. So you don't have to tunnel in, you just float in. It's there waiting for you anytime you're ready. And that's nirvana too. That's where this rooting down feeling will lead you, is to come to know the inner earth inside of yourself. See, that's the inner heart, because the inner world is always reflected in the outer world. So what we got inside of this Mother Earth here in 3D is a projection of the inner earth, don't you see? Which tells us inside of ourselves it's the same. Our reality lives inside and projects itself into this movie, this motion picture in which we live and activate ourselves, you see, for the experience of it. Remember the old boy in the derby, man, that talked us into it. But see, that was just a way of fooling ourselves to accepting a responsibility we'd already contracted to quite some time ago, when there was a big old spirit confab. And there was one group of beings that had been here that just couldn't handle the feelings of it, couldn't get the rooting down, kind of lost it because they felt so ground down by it, They were monstrous, mean things. They just became a completely different life than what we designed here. So out of their failure comes the great success of humanity. All these angels that we are, archangels to tell you the truth, because you cannot get into this reality without those kind of qualifications. It won't accept you. You got to be able to take it here, and not every spirit soul can. But you can, man, because you're here, and that's your evidence, okay? Helping you get it clear here, dear, anyway. So then we just roll right along with it. Realize inside that what we're feeling inside is reflected into our life on the outside. If we're having hard luck and so on and so forth, there's something inside of us that's creating that activity. And you got to be honest enough with yourself to see what's really going on there, okay? Because if you are, it's all going to change. You'll get that root down. You'll get yourself feeling like you're found. And babies, your feet will leave the ground without any artificial activity to compel them into it. No wings, no motors, no nothing like that. You just lighten up enough that gravity can't hold you anymore. And your heart presence takes you where you need to go. You can fly through the dimensions as easy as you can fly through the sky. But you can experience that too. You can hold on to the third density even while you're flying if you want to feel the wind and creation, the great spirit of love inside of your heart. And remember that the eagle, which is an angel, is also here to remind us that we're angels and to hold the energy for us until we're ready to come back to that angelic presence in the human form, which of course will reconstruct and redirect the human form in ways we never thought possible. But yet, if you give yourself some time, a little bit of communication, meditation, whatever you want to call it, you activate your spirit eyes, you activate the energy in your hands, and your whole body, really. But just give yourself some time, especially out in nature. You start to realize there's a different reality here, and it's all powerful, and it's bringing us out to play each and every day, each and every moment that we live. And this is play, though we take it all so seriously. It's little kids, spiritually, in a little kid playpen, Mother Earth. That's what she is, and that's why we're restricted. Some people call this a prison planet, because the souls that are trapped here keep coming back. Even when they live and die, keep coming back, keep coming back. And we're all kind of stuck here, and we can only go so far with it, dear, until we realize that we're clear, that we're free, that we're lighter than gravity, that we're lighter than anything, that we are indeed enlightened, because we're made of light, which is what? Love. The creation of love, given in a human liquid form. Yeah, indeed. Liquidity gives us our emotionality, gives us our mobility, gives us what we be, the ability to feel and make it real what we feel. So these shallow feelings we've known before, that we adapted into ourselves as we began growing into this reality from our babyhood, are only there to give way, to hold you steady for a little bit if it can, or whip you around if it has to, but to hold you there until the day it comes clear and you see there's one feeling here, and that's the immense love creation has for itself inside of you. See? So there's no prison, okay? It's been the same now with all these problems I've been having with cancer and stuff like that. If you just keep a good attitude, if you've already got that deeper connection with the earth, you're already feeling some contentment in your life, you got that essential peace, which we share here day after day. You can feel it right away when you tune in here, can't you? That's the golden rays of love coming your way. So won't you get over to the Coyote Club today? The Coyote Club. Coyotes with a K. Club is too. And .com, and help us sing a little more of your song, okay? Because we just live on our social insecurity and do all of this. Here in the 3D, the radio show and all the equipment that goes with it comes out of my little bit of a social security and what little bit you guys can share with me, So whatever you can, I really appreciate it, man. But at the same time, the Coyote Club exists. It's a vehicle for you, a support portal for humanity. So there's a lot of good stuff there. You might have to look at it in a coyote way to understand what it means, okay? But get on over there. Get yourself in. And it'll be another step along, he says with a grin. And when you get this little card, little, 2.5 by 3.5 or whatever it is card, with your membership name and all that stuff on there, it'll change you. It'll help you realize your greater connection with life. It just validates what's already there. You're already a member, so guess what? Now you got a little card in the 3D that says I came here naturally, and this is what I'm going to be. The love I'm made out of, and I'm not afraid to give a fellow coyote a hug, no matter where I be on this earth, okay? So you just say, hey, are you Coyote? And if she or he says yes, hug them right away, okay? And then make them show you the card, just so you know. But if they say no, I don't know. You might want to hug them anyway, because even the most evil thing loves an embrace. And guess what? We get that smirk off their face when we give them that embrace. Same as we do inside. When we embrace our darkness, what do we find there? Lightness. Lightening up. Letting go of all that shame and trauma we inherited so long ago that knocked us on our arse and told us we were, only halfway there. BS, my dear. We're getting it clear. We're already here, okay? And when we're here, that means we're ascendant masters in the beginning. Hey, let the Moody Blues help you understand it too, okay? They just itching to perform here today, so I'm going to let them do it and get out of the way. Ooh, babies, we love you. So I got to sing that Coyote song just once more. I hope you forgive me, but wow, I'm just so happy and free today, and I hope that's the way you be. I know you're feeling it, baby. Just accept it as your reality, and you'll find out what true nature is and what living naturally can really be. Far beyond this 3D, yet you're living in it still. You just melt away the divisions and become a revision of undivision. Getting it clear on the Hazy Radio Network, dear. Nothing like stepping out of the haze. Ooh, that won't even give you a phase. Now, will it? Oh, darlings, I love you so. Ooh, here's my little